Hello everybody, this is Carlosa, coming at you with episode 36.5 of ARK, and this is the video I promised after episode 36 that would be released, of showing me doing some off-screen stuff. This is me flying on Zuko right now. We are traveling to the desert, as I said, instead of a desert base, so I'm taking kind of a east and south route towards the desert before we decide to set up shop. And at the beginning of this video you saw a giga there. I just want to show that off. That's something cool I saw. And I'm going to be showing off a few things that I saw while traveling to the desert, and things I found that you guys might want to see that I witnessed, because some of this stuff may or may not come to play a part in episode 37 when that comes about. And also want to say in this video that what I will be showing you today is not all of what I've done off stream. This is most of it, but I have done more off stream. So when you watch episode 37, you will see even more stuff completed, accomplished, than in episode 36.5, which I'm showing you now, all the stuff I'm doing. But besides that, enjoy the video, guys. I'll be talking when there's stuff to show, and let's see what I find out and what I do. Here we see this nice tower in the eastern region of Ragnarok, and those beautiful kind of hexagon columns on this beach here. I'm sure this is the only area on Ragnarok where you can see these things. I like those things, looking at those things in real life. Those are cool formations, and nice that this is here as well to see. It's a very pretty region, this area, the northeastern edge of the map. Also those three strange rock formations that are just standing up from the ground. That's kind of interesting as well. And it's a very weird region, this area, because of course there's the giga, and then there's this tower, there's the hexagonal columns on the beach. Other than that though, it's pretty barren. Just a few equises and herbivores, and then there's just a big giga in the middle of it. And now we're flying towards the red obelisk of the map here in the eastern region. This is in the redwood forest region of the map, and it is the kind of barrier point between the redwood and then heading into the desert edge, which you can see in the distance there, far beyond the red obelisk, which we'll be heading to. Also, once you enter the redwood forest on Ragnarok, there's actually a lot of ambient noise, which is pretty interesting. And here we are, entering the edge of the desert region, in the east of the desert. You will not be settling quite in this area particularly. This eastern region of the desert is quite desolate. Just a lot of sand dunes and wild bugs and stuff like that. So we won't be building our nice little base location quite in the absolute sand desert. We'll be building a bit further inland into the central area of the desert, where as you can see right now, there's actually in the distance a river that kind of runs down the middle of the desert. And we will be building in that area where there's a lot more, varied wildlife and resources, namely, to build with. So that's where we will be settling down. And actually, I decided to check out these little island outcrops along the southeastern edge, off of the southeastern edge of the desert. I thought they were kind of interesting. Little island chain off the desert coast, but in reality these things are pretty barren. Nothing really grows on them at all, hardly any rocks or wood or wildlife at all. Occasionally there's a tree that's kind of dead looking, which you can get wood from. There's a few stones maybe, but besides that, nothing really very interesting. Not really any flat ground to build on or anything, so also not a very good place to build a base in the desert region. But I did find some mantas to chop up for some free fish meat, so I guess that was okay. And also me floating in the air, because I guess they didn't put a lot of, you know, this is one of the more underdeveloped regions of the map. They didn't, care to polish too much. So, yeah, you float a bit on these islands, which is a tad weird. But moving on. Now here's something I haven't encountered before. A loot crate out in the open. And apparently these things actually spawn quite a bit in this desert, kind of sandy region in the desert. We actually find something pretty cool. Good gas mask. Blueprint for some boots. Ride boots, and yeah. I actually end up finding a lot of cool stuff on my off-stream time. Just going around this desert with Zuko, looking for little lights in the darkness of night. And they're pretty easy to find during the nighttime because they glow. And I got a lot of good loot, which I'll be showing off when we get to episode 37. Now here, as I land on top of this old, dilapidated building, abandoned city almost, it seems like, built upon this river. This is where I decided to settle down. See, there's quite a few old buildings here. Nothing really of value here in these buildings. There's also some bridges that are broken down as well. And also a few islands in the river. Namely this one, which as you can see is actually quite filled with life and resources. Good amount of wood, stone too. Immediately you can see all the different kinds of creatures that reside in this area of the map. There's a raptor I'm going to take care of. There's some lamantreas, some relatops, gallimimus, kangaroo things, which the names I can't say. I don't remember. The kangaroos. There's a lot of cool stuff on this island actually, and fortunately I have to say that this won't last as I come to populate this island with resources and dinos of my own. Sadly, the wildlife does not stick around. Get killed off slowly but surely. Because actually, quite a bit. What happens quite a bit living on this island is, as you can see, there's much water around, and actually, sarcos and baronxes live pretty heavily around this area. So they end up like walking onto shore a bunch, and just trying to murder wild creatures. They don't murder any my dinos because my dinos can handle themselves, but they are a danger to living on this island. Besides that, it's a great place to live. And here I'm showing off some work I'm doing, building the base on the island, which I decided to call Socotra. If you don't know what Socotra is, Wikipedia. It's an island off the Arabian Peninsula, owned by Yemen, and a lot of fitting for an island in the desert, so that's what I've chosen. Although I have to say, Socotra has, a lot more unique looking plants than this stuff, but, it's good enough. So the structure I decided to build on this map is basically a stone, kind of like wizard's tower. I don't really know what makes it a wizard's tower, it's just a tower, basically. Pretty simple, because I build pretty simple stuff in this game, to be honest. Nothing too crazy. Maybe someday, on a different map, maybe I'll try and build something fancy sometime, but for now I'm sticking to basic stuff that's very functional. And this one will be no different, but I think it'll look alright in the end. Although I can say it's not actually even finished now, even after doing a lot of stuff in it off stream. But it is taking shape very nicely. It's pretty tall now, but it'll be even taller in the future, so we'll see how it pans out. And you can see I'm using triangle foundations, which is something I don't use a lot of, because I want to give the tower a more, curved shape, more like a drum tower, Because building box structures all the time can get a bit stale, so I decided to try and spice it up a bit for myself and for you guys. And here, I actually found out where silk comes from. these little purple kind of flowers. They give a good amount of silk, especially if you hit them with a sickle like I am here. And this will actually be plenty of silk for all our needs. We'll be building some nice kind of desert cloth armor in episode 37, which I haven't made before, and ends up looking pretty cool, so enjoy that, guys. Here you can see me putting down the doorways for our base. The basic foundation base of this tower is done, as you can see right now. I'm putting down the doorways, putting down some double doors. And the second door, this is the front door right here, you can see, and the second door to the right side of what you see right now is going to be to like a little patio kind of area, where I'm actually have like a little farm kind of section that's kind of has a railing and it's going to be made of wood. I thought that would be a nice way to, you know, kind of spice it up, because I usually don't have farming right next to my base. I usually just put it outside somewhere. So I thought it'd be nice to have it nice and connected. Then I suffer a bug attack. Handle it, you know, pretty good. I find it to say myself. Quick work for Hobbit Man. And then as I'm mining some rocks, a random freaking leech decides to get on my face. It's pretty annoying. Leeches are the worst. You can see he's huge compared to Hobbit Man. So that's kind of unfortunate. Stop drinking my blood. I only have so much of it, please. And while that's happening, I get attacked by another leech, and then a Sarko decides to show up and try to murder me. So I shoot some crossbow bolts into him. He launches me. I am about to die. I'm trying to shoot him as best I can with tranks. Those tranks are what I have at the moment. So I'm just unloading into him. And hoping he doesn't murder me. Thankfully, as it turns out, I managed to have enough tranks to take him down. So, I guess this will be our first creature caught in the desert region. And then a wild Baronic shows up and murders me. Yeah. That was a little frustrating. What did I say earlier about the Sarkos and Baronics? Yeah. So I actually died. And I was looking at the map trying to figure, oh, there's not really a spawn in desert location. Where do I spawn? Do I just go back to my base and pick up another flyer? Or do I just spawn as close as I can and run back? So that's what I end up trying to do. We respawn back at our eastern outpost, where we captured the wyvern hig that would hatch into Zuko. And I just decided to try and leg it. Now this is pretty ambitious by me, but I didn't want to cheat, you know, and I didn't want to go all the way back to base and then have to fly over for Argentavis, because an Argentavis is quite a bit slower than a wyvern. So I decided to just try to leg it by myself. I knew it'd be dangerous, but I thought it'd be, you know, relatively fast. Fortunately for me, it kind of ended up taking a while. And I will tell you guys, I ended up using infinite stats because I started starving to death. I didn't like cheat, just mow through dinos with infinite health or anything like that. But I'll show you later. I did use it to solve my hunger issues because I ran out of hunger pretty fast. I tried to survive as best I could, but it got to the point where am I just gonna let myself die again and have to do this all over? Because that would be pretty time consuming. So forgive me. It's one of the few legitimate moments of cheating I've done, you know, you could say. And well, hey. I don't cheat as much as some people, alright? That's all I can say, okay? If you want to take the high road on this one, though, I understand. Here's a drink of water. A drink of water from the beach. Look around. Look at the map. You know. Take a nice little dump by the water. Put that shit in the ocean. And there's a few Bacillosaurus corpses, actually, on this beach. I've seen those before playing by myself, but I don't think you guys have ever seen the Bacillosaurus corpses on the beach, which is a unique feature to Ragnarok, rather. I'm pretty sure if you harvest those, you get like oil and like meat and stuff. Maybe like rotted meat. I thought that was pretty cool to see. And here's me trying to, you know, understand that I'm gonna need food for this journey. So I beat some dodos with my fist, like a true caveman. And I think that this is going to be, you know, enough food for me. Unfortunately, I was very wrong. Probably could have spent more time collecting food. Once again, I was hoping that this would be fast, but it didn't quite work out that way. Now, thankfully, running through this section of grassland is actually pretty peaceful. There's not a lot of carnos, or carnivores rather, not just carnos specifically, but there's a lot of herbivores in this area, pterodons, diplodocus, triceratops, gallimimus, stuff like that. And it's very pretty as well, so it's actually, you know, pretty good experience running through this area. Although the running through the redwood and desert, a little less savory, but ended up being alright. And now, as I swim on the land, this is the redwood forest, which we saw earlier once again. The same path we took with Zuko, but now we're just walking on the ground actually, instead of flying over it. And this region is a little more dangerous than grasslands. Thankfully on the beach edge, it's not too dangerous. I'll see a few dire bears and stuff like that, but dire bears they're not too aggressive, you know. You can be a little bit close to them. They're like kind of like therizinosaurs. You can get a little close, but you know, just watch yourself and you should be okay, and not aggro them. And I find a yellow loot crate on the way. See what's inside. Huge saddle recipes. Nothing too crazy though. Diplodocus and Chalciferium. Nothing too useful to me right now, at least. And now to the most dangerous part of my journey. Basically, I'm starving to death. I'm a little cold. I'm running. We're almost to the desert region. Then a bunch of terror birds show up. And they start chasing me for a bit. It's a bit scary. I don't have a bunch of stamina, but thankfully, you know, Hop Man's pretty fast. This is why you level up speed, ladies and gentlemen. Speed is one of the best stats to level up. Being able to run away from dinos by yourself and not having to use a mount is pretty damn sweet. Thankfully, we make it past them. Now, we're transitioning into the desert. Which is where I finally decided to give in the pressure, the worry of I'm gonna die and have to do this all over again. And I decided to enable infinite stats for a bit so I can just continue to run and not worry about starving to death. So here we go. Infinite stats activated. And now it's just a straight up sprint back to the base. And so here we are by the water's edge. Trying to avoid some prawns in the water. Try to swim back to our base, which is also a pretty dangerous part of the ocean. Because a lot of sarcos and baroxes, like I said before, as I experienced. And no, there's raptors too. Thankfully, these guys give up pretty quickly. They don't seem very keen on chasing me in the water. It's mostly really piranhas that give me some issue. Thankfully, a sarco doesn't bite off my head here. And at this point, I have disabled infinite stats, so I am vulnerable again. So I gotta be careful. Thankfully, I'm just fast enough to swim away to not get bitten in the ass by this piranha. And so we end up successfully making it back to base. With some minor, cheating, I'd say. But we did it. Pick up Dimitri again. Thankfully, we didn't lose him. Our Sarco is there. Thankfully, he tamed while I was gone, so I guess something happened while I was walking back here. And Zuko actually picks me up with his little tail there, which is kind of scary. Afraid he's gonna fling me or something. It's a bit hard maneuvering this, giant wyvern on this relatively, kind of small island, but works out all right once we start clearing a bit of trees and stuff. I get my stuff back, and now we have a new Sarco friend who can hopefully, maybe actually defend me. The aquatic creature comes out from the river and decides to attack our island, so that's nice at least. And I decided to name him Biter in honor of him biting the crap out of me before I died. So, welcome to the crew, Biter. And so this is a while after. I'm making a trip back and forth between the past base and our new Socotra tower base. And I actually managed to see a really cool wild griffin. It's like the first time I've seen one on Ragnarok on this playthrough. This Hobbit man. And that's very neat. And you can see here, we're heading back to base and gonna build up our tower some more. And now we're back at the desert island base. And I brought flour over with me to carry some building supplies. We got some basic necessities up. We got a little garden plot that's gonna delete later because it's not really baseful. Got a compost bin. And we got some walls up. Storage cabinet. Campfire going. Got some lights going. And some stairs going to a second floor and a bed down as well. And this is actually coming together. Got a first floor situated. You can see I got some walls, some windows planned. I'm gonna keep building this up until it hopefully towers above the treetops of this area. Fast forward a little bit again. We're here, Socotra Island. Got Zuko with us still. He's been our rock in this situation, helping us out so much. And we've done a lot of work now on this tower. A lot more work. Let's see. Inside's still looking good. Got a preserving bin. Got 4 crop pots irrigated going. Got a little water network from the river side. Got fertilizer production going good. And as we go up the stairs, it's kind of a wacky stair setup, to be honest. But we got a second floor now. We even got a third floor that's in the works. Not completed yet, but got a second floor with refining forge and a smithy, which is very nice. I tamed some scorched earth dinos because I figured that'd be okay, and I got a little T-Rex baby that I decided to bring down south with me. This was an egg that I got from the base when we went there a little bit to get some stone supplies, stone building materials. And so I brought him down south and he hatched, and this is him growing up right now. His name is Future. Hopefully he's the future of our T-Rex squad. And got a Dodec, got a Scorpion, still got a old Biter. Good old Biter. Got a Baronix too, actually, you can see in the river there. And we're assembling a nice little dino crew actually in this area. So it's nice. We're actually gonna have, 2 kind of, bases with different, personalities there. 2 different buildings. And it's pretty cool. Oh, and don't forget, 2 Microraptors, a breeding pair of Microraptors actually snagged in the middle of a trip from the past base down to the desert. And this is it. This is what I've done so far, and I've done more off stream, but this is the end of the video for now. Thank you guys for watching, tuning in, and hope you enjoyed. And next time on episode 37, we'll continue our adventures to reach the Ragnarok arena. But for now, peace.